What was the goal of this brand? I think it's so cute and fun and unique. Just seems like should kind of be the bare minimum. I've gotten so many compliments on this. Okay, I've only just put these leggings on and I'm already suffocating. I recently reviewed a bunch of very popular, trendy it girl activewear brands and you guys loved it. So today I'm back with 3 ultra popular, trendy TikTok viral brands to see if these ones are worth it. Spoiler, I like these a lot better than the last video. If you scroll through your TikTok feed, odds are you will likely see one of these brands pop up. These brands have been popping off so much lately that a lot of them are selling out within minutes and are now having to do these unlimited pre-orders just so people can get their hands on these pieces. So the 3 brands that we are testing today to see if they're worth it are Liaison the label, Set Active, which I have tried before many years ago on this channel, but it's been a minute, and Wiskii Active. And like the last video with these brands, they do tend to be on the more mid to high or even high price point. So my metrics on if a brand like this is worth it are as follows. Number 1, do they have unique designs you can't find anywhere else? I do think we have some super cute unique designs today. Number 2, do they have an extended size range that affordable brands just can't necessarily keep up with? And number 3, do they have amazing fabrics that you just can't find anywhere else? So for all of these brands today, we will be going through these metrics and seeing if I really think that they're worth it. My credentials are I basically tried every activewear brand to exist and I've been reviewing leggings on YouTube for like 8 years. It's been a really long time and I am very critical and hard to please. So normally for videos like this, I do more of like a first impressions type video, but for all of the brands today, I've actually had the pieces for quite a minute, or they're not necessarily new to me, but I haven't covered them in a specific like YouTube segment. But I did still want to do a little shop with me section just so we could look at the website, see what they have, go over their size ranges, return policies, and all of that. So we're gonna start off with that. So the first brand we'll be talking about is Liaison the label. I have been absolutely loving their stuff lately because there is an epidemic of boring activewear and nothing makes me more upset than seeing a new activewear pop up and it's basic leggings and like a sage green, a dusty purple, a blue, and a black with like a racerback sports bra. I'm like, what was the goal of this brand? Because if it was boring activewear that we have 20 million of, like that was accomplished. So I've really been drawn to brands who are taking risks and are not afraid to do something a little bit fun. I know a lot of people just wear black activewear. Couldn't be me. I literally hate black activewear. Life's too short to not wear really fun colors, really fun things. So I love a fun set. So that's one reason I've been really drawn to Liaison recently. Literally, we open their website, first thing I see, cute little layered bra, and it says, don't settle for boring activewear. Exactly, Liaison. Exactly. This is one of the brands they actually really popped off on TikTok and their recent launches have been really selling out. And I know some people think that this is like intentional, but like brands would want to sell more stock if they had it, especially in the case of Liaison. They popped off and then their recent collection, like they were ordering stock for like what they previously were used to getting orders from. So while I don't always love a pre-order, I do see the use for it in certain instances like this. If someone just really wants a specific piece and you're willing to wait, sometimes having it late is better than ever. So just scrolling their recent products, we can see, first of all, a lot of pink. I love pink. A lot of layered looks, but like in different styles. We also have a range of bras from like lower coverage to this basic contrast bra, which is like a little bit more coverage. We have some animal print, which has really grown on me. We got some stripes. We even have layered leggings with little patterns. And I see a lot of brands doing the layered look, but not a lot of brands are doing layered with patterns. And Liaison definitely has the patterns down. Oh, their pre-order is done. Okay. They also have layered tanks, different styles of layered sports bras. We have polka dots. We have gingham, one of my favorite prints. We have stripes, more unique options. Just scrolling the website, it just makes me happy to see all these different unique options available that aren't just basic activewear. In terms of order experience, I've actually been ordering from Liaison for like a couple years now. They just like recently started coming out with these super cute little layered patterned looks that I like. But every time I've ordered, their stuff has arrived relatively fast. I would say like a week or so. They also do free shipping above $100 with a code. I think they did give me a code. It's Kathryn, and it does give you free shipping over $100. So I would say that's pretty good because if you buy a set, you're probably spending $100. Their leggings are around $72, so I would put them in the mid to high price point. Their size range is extra small to extra large, so I would like to see it expand a little bit, but it's not the worst we'll see in this video. And then my one major gripe with Liaison, which I actually didn't even realize until recently because I've never had to return anything from them because I've liked everything that I've had, is they actually don't do returns for refunds, you guys. They only do returns for store credit. And I feel like for an online only brand, brand, you gotta do the refunds. It has been a while since I've seen a brand who doesn't do returns for refunds. And at this point, I've tried a lot of brands. I've returned many things over many brands over the years. And for small businesses, I completely accept like a restocking fee and having to pay the return shipping and stuff like that. Like I don't expect everything to be covered because that is a lot of money to cover for a small business. But I do really feel like you should be able to get a refund. So I think I've seen some TikToks talking about this. So fingers crossed that that can change. And it's also a return within 10 days of delivery, which I like to see like at least 2 weeks, preferably a month, but that's just me. Anyways, let's try on some Liaison pieces. All right, we have to start out with the most iconic of the Liaison pieces, which is their double layer scoop bra. I actually wear a size extra small on this one, and it is $54. I find all of their tops run just a little bit big, especially this one, so I do like to size down. And while there are plenty of brands these days that have a similar design of a scoop bra, the pattern is what makes this so adorable. I mean, this is literally chocolate cherry gingham. I've gotten so many compliments on this every time I wear it. So it is 2 layers of a sports bra that are tacked down at the side so that they don't move. The bottom layer does have removable cup pads. We have double straps. The inner straps are adjustable, but not the outer straps. We have the Liaison logo across the back. And basically all of their activewear is made of the same material. It's a 75% polyester, 25% spandex, kind of a mid-weight, medium compression, body hugging material with a little bit of a brushed feel. So it does feel soft to the hand. I feel like if they were going to choose one fabric to have kind of everything in, this is kind of a good like middle of the road fabric. So let's try this on. All right, here is the double layered scoop bra. This one is in an extra small and it does fit well. So I do recommend sizing down in this one. If you're comparing this to something like the Form double layer top and the Buff Bunny one, this one does have a little bit less coverage. And all of these kind of double layered style bras do give the girls a little bit of a lift just because it is just a little bit of extra fabric to compress. Personally, I love a sports bra that's gonna lift and shape the girls. I would say we have medium coverage. I have worn this for many workouts, gym, solid core, leaning over. And even though it's lifting the girls, I never fall out of this one because it's containing them very well. So I would consider this large cup size friendly, medium coverage and medium support. I actually really don't move around too much. You also can kind of play with where this top layer goes. I like to bring it down like a little bit just because it kind of lifts the girls up a little bit more. The straps stay up very well on this one. They are adjustable. And then it does get a little bit more narrow in the back. I do also have this bra in the stripes because this one is a little bit old. The bottom band is just not, it's not loose on this one, but it could be a little bit tighter. And they did take that feedback and take in the bottom a little bit. So I just want to show this. All right, here's the updated extra small. The band is just a lot more secure along the bottom. So definitely a good fit change. And I will say my last critique of their sports bras is I'm very critical of cup pads. I do feel like their cup pads are a little bit rigid. You can't see them or anything when they're on, but I prefer a cup pad that just like molds with your body a little bit better. And I do find these just a little bit more rigid than I want, but I still really like the bras. A quick peach intermission because it's lunchtime. Yep. She actually has been pretty good about not biting my toes lately. Isn't that right? Okay, time for lunch. Next up, we have probably my favorite bottom from them. These are the bridge shorts. So these are just a very simple short. They don't have the double layer look, but they do pair well with the double layer tops. So these are a 6.25 inch inseam short, and they do a couple things with their shorts that I like. First of all, it has a nice open thigh seam, so they're thick thigh friendly. They also do a slightly longer inseam than outseam. You can see it kind of goes up at the side a little bit. This just gives the thick thighs a little bit of extra room. So really made with the thick thigh girlies in mind. We have no front seam, slight dip down V waistband, extended gusset that goes all the way down the leg. And these shorts actually come in an extra small to XXL. So actually slightly better size range than expected. These don't have any scrunches or anything in the back, but they do have this very flattering curved glute seam in the back that just kind of enhances the glutes a little bit. Here is that fabric up close. It does have a slight brushed feel, nice mid-weight, and still has a lot of stretch to it. They also just have the Liaison wordmark logo. They actually used to do like a tonal embroidered logo, which looked just like really chic and expensive. And I wish that they would switch back to that because I like that more than just the wordmark, but this is what we have going for us now. So anyways, let's try it on. Okay, we have the bridge shorts. These just fit me like a glove. First of all, very nice, true high rise. Goes right to the small of my waist. We have that very slight dip down in the front. Overall, it's a low to medium compression. So I just overall feel like kind of held in by the fabric, but not super squished. No front seam, 6-inch inseam. Nice and thick thigh friendly, lots of room for the thighs, but because this fabric has a little bit of grip to it, they don't ride up endlessly. No side seam on these, and then in the back, we do have those curved glute seams. I would say these are medium to long glute friendly just because the seam in the back is a little bit on the longer side. Even though these don't have a scrunch, I do feel like I still get a good contour to the glutes because the fabric is just very body hugging. Medium to high on the booty scale, I find these very flattering. Very true to size. If you're in between, you could really go either way. If I had to recommend one set from the Liaison, it would definitely be layered scoop bra and the bridge shorts because I just feel like these just fit so well. Next up, we have the Luxe square neck bra. I did get this one in a size small. And again, I just like that they're incorporating their patterns even in the bras that aren't just like the double layered. So this was from their little stripe collection. We have the purple with the teal. So we have this square neckline, removable cut pads. We have this nice secure elastic along the inner band that is smooth and invisible from the outside. And then in the back, you have a slightly less coverage version of the square neck with the logo. They say it's reversible, but you can't actually switch the cut pads to this side. So I don't think it's truly reversible unless the cut pad hole goes both ways. So let's try this on. All right, we have the Luxe square neck bra. I really like the secure elastic on the inside of this one, but it's completely seamless from the outside. I would say this one's a solid medium to full coverage. Like we're just getting a little bit of a peep right on top, but otherwise I am basically all covered. I love the paneling detail with the stripes. I think it's so cute and unique. We have these thick tank straps. The support is kind of more low to medium. I will say I do feel like the straps are a little bit wide. This is something I guess I just have narrow shoulders because this is something that happens to me quite often. But because the straps on this one aren't adjustable, I have more issues with this than like the layered scoop bra. So I'd say keep that in mind if you have really narrow shoulders. It's never actually fallen off, but it just like feels like it wants to, you know? True to size, but if you're in between, I actually would size down. I feel like that would help with the straps a little bit, and it's just not like super tight as is. And then just the square neck design in the back. I like this one a lot and just has a little bit more coverage if you have a larger cup size. And lastly for Liaison, we have the layered Sculpt pant. I got these in a size small, made of that same polyester spandex material. These ones are more of an ultra high rise because they have the little extra rise from the double layer. We have that very subtle V dipped waistband, no front seam, extended gusset. These come in a 27-inch inseam. They have the curved seams in the back. And then where these really get fun is obviously the double layered look going on. So we have two entirely separate waistbands going on. So there's actually 4 thicknesses of waistband. We have a double thickness here and a double thickness on the inside. So these can get a little bit compressive. I'll show when these are on. You can wear these a couple different ways. You can wear it like this. You can fold the outer waistband down and you still have a logo that way. And I feel like this is a great way to have just like a little bit of print on your leggings without having the whole legging have print. So let's try these on. All right, here are the layered Sculpt pants. You can see these definitely go up higher than the bridge shorts. So I would consider these ones an ultra high rise, no front seam, extended gusset, no crotch tension, no side seam, and then we have those same curved seams in the back. These again would be more medium to long glute friendly. I do actually think you'd get a little bit of cellulite coverage out of this fabric because it's about a medium thickness. Again, kind of getting that light to medium support. Medium to high in the booty scale. Again, the fabric just kind of contours your body nicely. The curved seams definitely help out a little bit as well. And then I personally find this to be true to size and just have like a snatching waistband fit. It feels like about the same amount of compression as something like an Elfleet Amplify legging waistband, but some people were complaining that they felt like it ran a little bit small, so they have adjusted the waist sizing on the layered pieces. So if you look on their website, V1 will be the more compressive style that is not updated. In V2, there should be no need to size up. Personally, I would only recommend sizing up if in between, but if you're looking at V1 and you don't like a lot of waistband compression, I would be sizing up. Anyways, we have that ultra high rise and you can kind of play around with the waistband here because you have 2 basically fully functional waistbands. So I have seen some people kind of fold the waistband down and then you get the Liaison in the back. You could even fold both of them down if you wanted more of a mid-rise, but with the compression, that's not the best look for me. You can even try to fold down the inner waistband and just have the outer waistband, but I like to wear it just as it's supposed to be, just like this. And I forgot to show, but this is the full length view. They do just hit kind of right above my ankles on me. So looking at my criteria, is Liaison worth it? Does it have unique designs? Yes, we have so many different patterns, fun colors. They're doing the layered bras, the layered leggings. We got patterns on other sports bras, definitely unique designs. Size range is getting better, but I wouldn't say that's where they shine. And then the fabric, it's not something I've never seen before, but it is a really nice fabric. So overall, I've really loved all of my Liaison pieces. I always get a lot of compliments on them. They're functional, they're cute. Personally, I definitely recommend. Our next brand we'll be talking about is Set Active. I've actually reviewed Set maybe twice on the channel before. They've been around for quite a while now. Very popular in the influencer space, but not like the fitness influencer space, more like the lifestyle girlies are often wearing set. I thought they've been okay in the past. I like that they do no front seam leggings, but I've never been like super impressed. But recently they have been coming out with some cute, contrasty, like fun designs. So that's why I've been interested in trying them again. In terms of order experience, like I said, I've ordered from them a couple times over the years. Never had an issue. I feel like they ship relatively quickly. Free shipping over $175. Price range is extra small to XXL. And again, the price point is about mid to high. So scrolling the website, this is also a brand where I've seen some tea on TikTok of people being like, it's selling out so quickly. And I think that they also are doing pre-orders. So yeah, they have these super cute like orange leggings with the contrast piping. I actually do have these in another color that we'll be talking about today. Okay, they're having like, it looks like they're doing layered leggings like Liaison. Except, why is this like the worst website photo I've ever seen? I can't even tell what these leggings actually look like. I feel like if you're going to include like a computer rendered image of your piece on your website, you also have to have it on an actual person, because how am I supposed to know what that looks like? So I don't like that that legging is just like not actually on a model. So they have lots of super fun colors, sporty designs. They have some leggings with piping down the side like Splits 59, except Splits 59 was like even more expensive. The fabrics were awful and they had front seams. So Splits 59 was like a no all around. So this could be a good alternative for that little sporty look. I didn't try any of their sweats or anything. And I'm liking like the contrast sets, like this dark green and lighter green is very cute. The blue and the lighter blue. I think they're choosing nice colors. They have the fun, trendy, layered look. The pieces definitely excite me even more than like Splits 59 because that like, I felt like the colors were a little bit boring. We're getting more exciting colors here. I love a brand that isn't afraid to do some color. Okay, and then return policy. So I know I have returned from set in the past and I don't remember it being an issue. I know they do offer refunds, but if you look at their return policy on the website, it actually doesn't say what the return policy is. It's like FAQ section. What is your domestic return policy? Proceeds to not even tell you what the return policy is. Like, this is why I look at websites, guys, because no one is doing anything right. It just says, if you request an exchange, you're not guaranteed to be in stock, okay? Like, what about you have to return your item within 2 weeks, 30 days? What about only store credit? What about refunds? Like, we need to know these things, and it's just not saying it anywhere there. It does say we will accept items that are new and unworn, and it does hint to the fact that they will either do reimbursement or store credit. So I know that they are returnable, but their return policy part of the website just doesn't even say anything about that. So I can't even tell you what it is. Anyways, let's try on some set. All right, I have 2 sets from Set Active. I like one of them. I don't really like the other one. So let's start off with the one that I like. This is the Luxform Lux Scoop Bra. I got it in a size small. And I like this one because it doesn't just have 2 colors. It has 3 colors. And how many brands are incorporating this many colors into activewear? It's not even like a crazy design or anything, but I just liked the kind of color block moment. And when looking at set, I wasn't entirely sure what fabric I was going to like from them. So I tried 2 entirely different fabrics and I definitely prefer this one. This is the Luxform. It's a nylon spandex, sleek performance material, a little bit more in the light compression, but it still hugs the body well. So we'll see in the shorts, but I do really like the Luxform, especially if you like a more sleek material. Set is very into a front and center branding, which personally, I am not. I will say that the Set logo is pretty small, so it's not crazy, but would I prefer if it wasn't there? Yes. So we have the contrast piping that goes into these spaghetti straps. Very simple, basic design. One thing I don't love about Set, which this can be kind of divisive, but they don't do cup pads in any of their stuff. And my girls, they appreciate a little bit of shaping from a cup pad, or else I can kind of just be flattened like a pancake. So I really do wish that these had cup pads, but unfortunately none of their tops do. So keep that in mind if that's a deal breaker for you, but let's try this on. All right, here is the sports bra. I actually was surprised with the coverage of this one. I think just with the stretch of the fabric and the fact that it doesn't have any cut pads, it just kind of like is perfectly like sandwiching the girls between these 2 little piping details, and not in like a squished way, but like I feel covered and supported. I wore this to solid core and it didn't have any issues falling out of it because it has this nice almost like bandeau shape. So I thought functionally this one is actually really good. I would say about medium coverage, low to medium support though. This fabric, it says on the website this is like their medium to high compression fabric, but for me this is like a very thin low compression fabric, so I'm not quite getting that. Even if the shorts like I sized down, I feel like the material's like pretty thin and naked feel. So personally I would not consider this to be a high compression fabric. The straps are nice. They are elasticated. I would say spaghetti straps, but they're not so thin that they're going to cut in. They go straight up and down. They don't feel like they're falling off of my shoulders or anything. True to size, if you're in between, I would size up. So yeah, I like the bra. It's functional. I do wish it had cup pads. That's just my one thing, but I still think this one is cute. Next up, we have the Luxform Lux shorts. I got these in a size small. They're made of that same material. Here's the Luxform up close. It's a really nice dense material, a lot of stretch to it, and just like a sleek but soft feel. So I do like how this material feels in the hand. Double thickness waistband, no front seam, which a lot of these trendy it girl brands have front seams. Extended gusset. The glute seams are straight across on the back of these. I still think they sit nicely, but you're definitely not getting that like glute contour moment, which not everyone is here for. They put the set logo on the bottom hem of the shorts, which will see my thighs eat those up. So where Liaison only has shorts in their 6.25 inch inseam, Set Active only has 4-inch inseam shorts. So personally, my thighs do better with at least a 6-inch short. So these 4-inch shorts, they were a little bit short for me. So it's definitely a bummer to see that they only come in kind of shorter lengths, but let's try these on. All right, then we have the shorts. I definitely have some pros and cons with these shorts. I think the rise is nice, solid high rise at my natural waist, double thickness waistband. Overall, I would say these are a low to medium compression, no front seam, 4.5-ish inseam shorts. Unfortunately, the combination of a slightly shorter inseam with this fabric being a little bit more sleek and naked feel. I walked to my solid core class in these, and as I was walking in these, and every couple steps I had to check if my cheeks were out because my thighs just ate up these shorts. Again, the fabric just kind of slides up. The inseam isn't quite long enough for me. So that's just a personal thing. I have some thighs, I'm tall. I just need a longer short. So I don't think that's bad, but I would like to see different inseam options. I will say they don't squish my thighs at the bottom, very stretchy. I do also feel like I can see the gusset from the front a little more than I would like, so I wish that was pushed back a little bit. And then in the back, we can see that the fabric contours the body well. So I do actually really like this fabric. The seams sit right above the glutes, no curve or anything. So I'm just gonna give these a medium on the booty scale. Then I didn't love that they put the logo right there because again, when I was walking, I just felt like my thighs kind of like ate that up a little bit. So I wish I had put it like in like a normal place. The shorts, I would say true to size up if you're in between. I do think the waist does get a little bit more compressive. So I really like the fabric and the fit of these, but I think just certain elements like the length and the gusset, I would change. Would I try this fabric again in a legging? Probably. And my second set from Set Active is the Formcloud Cloud Training Cami. I got a size small. So they have a couple different fabrics on the website. I ended up going with the Luxform, which I did like, and the Formcloud, which I didn't love. The Formcloud is a polyester spandex heathered soft material. So here's an up close of the Formcloud. Similar to Beyond Yoga Space Dye, Petula Bear, Buff Bunny Dream Heather, things like that, except the Formcloud feels very heavy. The material has that look that it just like kind of will start to pill. And I wore this set for a workout and I kind of just felt like suffocated the whole workout because the material was just like so heavy and dense. And I have a lot of similar types of this fabric from other brands where I don't feel that way. So I wasn't really loving the Formcloud. Hopefully we can see up here. I just feel like I have worn and washed these once. I just feel like I don't trust that these are not going to pill. So I thought the little double layered cami was cute. We do have the Set Active logo in the front. It's about a high hip length top. The inner layer is basically just a little shelf bra. Again, no cup pads in any of their tops. Double layered straps. Let's try it on. Okay, so here's the top. And I feel like for a brand that calls like a 27.5-inch inseam, like a 7/8 length, for this to like not really fit my long torso well, has me confused on what the height demographic is. Anyways, I can't wait to take this set off. I just really, I did wear this to the gym. I absolutely hated working out in it and I just don't like the fit of this top. I will say this is a common struggle with tops for me because I have a long torso and I just feel like it's just like loose at the bottom and just kind of like juts out a little bit too much. So I would say this is about a waist length. We've already talked about the fabric for the leggings, but I don't really like it as a top either. It does have good coverage though, and I would say it's large cup size friendly. Like there is a lot of space in this little shelf line. I would say it's actually a full coverage. I do feel like the straps are like kind of trying to go off to the sides, but I don't think they're adjustable. Yeah, I feel like this was a missed opportunity to make the straps adjustable because they are just spaghetti straps. Support is low. Again, I think the style is cute. I just think the fit could be done a little bit better and I just don't love this fabric. Then we have the Formcloud pipe leggings. I was drawn to these because they have that kind of sporty piped detail. So made of the Formcloud fabric, double thickness waistband, no front seam, extended gusset. We have the Set logo in the upper right corner there. So I kind of like that it's a little bit out of the way. And I don't love a front logo, but at least they don't also have it on the back. I hate when brands like over logo things. So just one logo, that's fine. Inseam is 27.5 inches, and on the website it says that it's meant to be a 7/8 length, and it's a 27-inch inseam. And I'm 5'9", and 27.5 is going to be a full length on me. So 7/8 on who? Are we only making these for 5'11" models? Because I'm pretty tall. Occasionally I'll get a comment saying that I'm like not tall, and it's just like absolutely so wild to me because anyone who's ever met me in person is like looking up to me and they're like, oh my gosh, I forgot how tall you are. I think the last time I was around a woman who was taller than me was in dental school. We had this oral surgeon in our OS clinic who played like D1 volleyball, and she was like literally 6'4", the most amazing badass woman ever. But sometimes like the tall girl police will come and be like, you're not tall when you're 5'9", and I'm like, that's actually like the 97th percentile of height, so check yourself. Anyways, my point was these are a little bit long to be considered a 7/8 length. Again, straight across waistband in the back, no scrunches or anything. Let's try these on. Okay, I have only just put these leggings on and I'm already suffocating. This fabric, like I have tried so many heathered type fabrics like this, and this one feels like they tried to make a sweat pant into leggings. Like it's really thick. I feel like I'm getting kind of a lot of like wrinkling, like more so than most. These would definitely only be a winter legging, but even working out when it was like slightly cold in these, I just still feel like they didn't breathe very well. They just feel very suffocating. So I really, really don't like this fabric. Also, do we see how much the gusset is sitting forward? It's just like one of my pet peeves. You could just see a little bit too much. So these are a high rise. They sit right about at the natural waist, maybe a little bit below. So these are a high rise, sit at the natural waist, double thickness waistband, no front seam. Gusset extends down the leg. We have the Set Active logo here. Then we have the little side piping details and add a little bit of a sporty element. And then in the back, the seams do sit right above the glutes. And this material, I do feel like it just pancakes the butt a little bit. I almost want to say a low to medium on the booty scale. We don't have anything to enhance the glutes, and the fabric is just so thick. I don't think these are doing me any favors. You will get some cellulite coverage out of these because they are thicker and they have that dense marled material. Overall, I would say these are true to size. If you're in between, you could really go either way. And then here is the full length view. Like I said, these would be basically full length on me. I always, adjust my leggings to make sure they're sitting in the right position. I feel like you can tell when I walk that like the fabric is just really thick. So I'm definitely not a fan of this fabric. Overall, just the design of these leggings in general just doesn't feel super flattering or functional. All right, Pinto would like to let you all know that all of the fabrics in this video do collect a little bit of pet fur, except for the Set Active Luxform fabric. That's the only one that Pinto approves of. Otherwise, I always have a lint roller. Hello. Hello. Look, this is like, he's like literally comfortable like this, you guys. Like the curved tail. You're such a silly kid. You're such a silly kid. So how does Set Active do on my metrics of is a brand worth it? Number one, unique designs. I do feel like they have been doing some cuter designs lately. When I have tried them in the past, they were a little bit more basic and I just didn't like the fit or the materials enough to justify it. But I do like that they've been doing these really fun bright colors, color blocking. However, I do have some issues with the designs structurally. Like I do prefer a cut pad in my sports bras. I think that the glute seams could be a little bit more flattering in the back. We don't need to have like a scrunch or anything, but I like a little bit of something to make the glutes a little bit more flattering. And the gussets do sit a little bit too far forward. So I'd say that they do have unique designs. I still would change a couple things. So that one's like a maybe. The size range is pretty good, but it's not like, super extended, like Pop Flex or something. So I would say no to that. And then really amazing fabrics I can't find elsewhere. I do think the Luxform fabric's pretty nice. Definitely not this one. So that's like another kind of maybe. Set Active is definitely my least favorite of the 3 brands we're talking about today. But would I try them again if they came out with like a super cute color combo in the fabric I'd like? I might give them another chance, but I'm not running to make another purchase. And the last brand we'll be trying today is Wiskii Active. This was a brand I actually tried in one of my like buying from brands that advertised to me videos. And I was fully expecting to 1, not like this brand at all, and 2, for it to be like drop shipped. Like I just was getting some red flags on the website. In fact, I was so confident that this brand was drop shipped that in that video, I actually ordered a skirt off of AliExpress that looked like this skirt and confirmed that they are indeed different skirts and that Wiskii is doing their own stuff. So occasionally I get comments that are like, oh, like you didn't even want to like this brand, like you didn't even give them a chance. And like, I did not want to like this brand, but against all odds, they have won me over and I literally love their stuff now. In that original video, I tried a front seam legging, but they actually do have no front seam leggings. And you guys, they're actually quite good. So let's dive into Wiskii. First of all, Wiskii order experience. I have ordered from them a couple of times and they do take like 2 to 3 weeks to arrive. I think the shortest it's ever been is like 2 weeks. So that was one thing I didn't love, but they do eventually arrive. They take their time. They do also have free shipping over $150. As for their return policy, they do accept returns within 14 days of delivery, and they do offer refunds. They do charge a restocking fee though, which again, I'd rather you charge a restocking fee than just not even allow refunds at all. So just be aware of that though. I really haven't returned very much from them though, because I kind of end up liking a lot of the things. Okay, just a quick website scroll. What really intrigued me about Wiskii, you've probably seen some Wiskii pieces around. They are known for this super cute scalloped design. So much of their activewear, they feature this scallop print. I've worn it in a couple of videos and you guys have really liked it. I personally love a girly feminine set. So I love the scallop. I think it is so cute. So they have a couple different styles of the scallop. The high-waisted scallop scrunch leggings are definitely the best. So we're trying those today. They have these cute scalloped long sleeves. They even have these new like layered look tops that I want to try soon as well. I've worn a couple of their sets to the gym and found that it does perform well, but they also have some really cute like athleisure, like this little bubble skirt. They have some cute little like active tennis dresses that are cute. So I really like the girly feminine aesthetic. And then the size range. I told you guys Liaison wasn't the worst of the day. I will say some of the items from Wiskii do come in size extra small to extra large, like the high-waisted scrunch leggings. So they're not all like a really awful size range. But then if we go to the crossback bra, this one only comes in small to extra large, so it's missing that extra small. And then some of their pieces only come in size small through large. So I will say when I first looked at Wiskii quite a while ago, most pieces were only in small through large, and now I'm seeing some pieces in extra small to extra large. So it does seem like they're improving, so I will give them that. But I feel like every brand today has like their little caveat, like, ooh, I wish that would change. And for me, for Wiskii, I do wish they would at least have extra small to extra large. Like, just seems like should kind of be the bare minimum. In terms of price point for Wiskii, I would still put them at that mid to high price range, because although the leggings are $89, they always have at least 15% off. I do actually have a code with them. I will put it on the screen, and like sometimes it's 21% off, but it never goes below 15% off. And if you take 15% off of 89, it's like 75, which puts it at a pretty similar range to Set and Liaison, and they don't really do regular discount codes. So they're kind of all on the same price point. All right, let's try on some Wiskii. And finally, we have Wiskii. We have the high-waisted scallop scrunch leggings. These are made of a nylon spandex brushed material. Here's an up close of the fabric. It has a nice soft hand feel. And even when I first tried Wiskii, where I tried their front seam leggings, I actually still loved the fabric. It's one of those fabrics where you put it on and it just like, it has the perfect amount of hold. It's not squeezing you anywhere. It's soft. So I absolutely love their fabrics. We have their signature scallop edge waistband. The scallop edge is created with a bonded edge and a laser cut. Basically, they glue 2 layers of the fabric together so that it doesn't fray. But they only bond the very top. So the entire waistband isn't bonded. Sometimes when you get an entire waistband that's bonded like that, it can be super compressive. So they just bonded the very top so it doesn't squish you awkwardly. No front seam, thankfully. We just have a triangle gusset here. Even the hem of the leggings has the little scallop detail. And then in the back, the one thing I don't love about their leggings is their branding is pretty in your face. It's like this gold, shiny Wiskii word mark. So it's a little bit much. You guys know I prefer tonal branding. None of the brands today really gave us tonal branding. We have these nice curved glute seams, and then these just have a subtle scrunch in the back. It doesn't look scrunched when you're on. It's also not really scrunched on the top half, so it kind of reduces the appearance of the scrunch. So let's try it on. All right, here are the Wiskii scrunch leggings. True to size. If you're in between, you can go either way. These are really more of an ultra high rise. I do have a long torso. It does go slightly above my natural waist. No front seam. I don't even have any extra fabric or any gathering, any awkwardness around here. These just fit like a glove. I feel like the fit on these, they just completely nailed it. I also don't get any crotch tension or anything, even though there is that subtle scrunch in the back. It's all fitting very well. I've worn it for multiple workouts and I haven't had issues. We have no side seam, very smooth along the sides. And then we have the back. We have just kind of a subtle glute contour. It's not quite as dramatic as the Liaison one, but it just sits right above the glutes and kind of gently contours around. And then we have that subtle scrunch. It's focused at the bottom, so it just kind of contours the lower glute area, but you don't see any scrunching at the top because it's a little more flat there. So I would say medium to high in the booty scale, very flattering and very subtle. Not the most cellulite coverage out of these though, just because the fabric, it's more of a light to mid thickness. And in light colors, you definitely get less coverage. And then I'll have the inseam on the screen at the end, but I also love the little scallop hem detail at the bottom. And these go just about to my ankle, so a good length on me. I love these leggings. I feel like they fit me so well. And these are pale pink, but I can't see my nude underwear underneath. But we will have the squat test for good measure. I I have tried a couple bras from them. My favorite is the crossback sports bra. I got a size small in this one. This one is made of the same material. It has a nice inch elastic along the bottom for security. It has the scalloped hem around the squared neckline. The straps are all made of that bonded material. They crisscross in the back. One thing I don't love about their sports bras though is all of their cup pads are very padded. Like they all have like this thick push-up padding. So I do tend to take the cup pads out or else the padding like pushes me out of the bra and then I fall out of it. So when I remove the padding, everything fits a lot better. So let's try this on. All right, here is the Scallop Hem Sports Bra. This is definitely my favorite bra that I've tried from them so far. First of all, I would say it has a nice medium coverage. It looks like it should have a little bit more, but I do feel like the straps are just a bit long. So sometimes I feel like I get a little bit of spillage out of the top when I lean over, although I'm like technically covered. If the straps were a little bit tighter, I would be giving this like a medium to full coverage. I like how secure the bottom band is. I did just put in my own cup pads here because their cup pads, like I said, they just push me right out. They're way too thick and padded. I just love the scallop design. I think it's so cute and fun and unique. And then we just have the crisscross straps in the back. We do have their logo, which I do think is a little bit bold. Support on this one, I would say a low. Again, I just wish the straps were a little bit tighter. Overall, I would say this is true to size. If you're in between, you could really go either way. The bottom band is pretty secure. Honestly, I love everything about this bra except for the straps. They could just be a little bit tighter, but this is an issue I often have. And then we have the Wiskii Scalloped Long Sleeve Shrug. I just thought this was a really cute way to add a little bit more scallop detail to the outfit, but it's basically just sleeves. We just have long sleeves, little scalloped detail that just goes around the back, and then it just kind of like barely covers the shoulders. You'll see this one, I don't really love this one actually. It doesn't fit super well. So I prefer just sticking with their sports bras and tops. So let's try this on. Okay, so in theory, I like the idea of this shrug. Long sleeves, they could be a little bit longer though. I'm wearing a size small, which is my normal size. I also love when a shrug doesn't cover my armpits because, you know, it gives me a little freedom. I love the scallop detail and it definitely makes it cute in the back. All of the scallops together, but it just does not have enough shoulder coverage. Like it doesn't even like go halfway onto my shoulders. And I feel like it's just constantly trying to slip off. And while I know a bolero shrug thing is really just sleeves, I just like when they stay on a little bit better. So I just don't really feel like this one fits super well. So wouldn't be my pick. Okay, how does Wiskii do on my metrics of is the brand worth it? Number one, unique designs. They definitely have unique designs. I really haven't seen another brand really lean into the scallop detail very well. Not only do they have the unique designs though, but the pieces fit really well. Like the leggings fit me like a glove. So definitely would say they have unique designs. Size range, unfortunately, this is where they struggle. I think they really do not have a great size range, but I will say it seems to be getting better every time I look at the website. Certain pieces have more of a range. So I think we're going in the right direction, but I would definitely like to see more from them. And do they have good fabrics? I really love the fabric that they use on these leggings. I would say it's my favorite fabric of all of the brands in the video today. Just a really nice, like light to mid-weight brush material, hugs the body well, just a good fabric. But honestly, today we had pretty good fabrics besides the Formcloud. Don't like that one. So I will definitely be continuing to purchase from Wiskii. I'm hoping to try some of their like non-scalloped things next just to see, but I really love the scallops. I think it's cute. All right, you guys, that is all for today's video. Make sure to like if you enjoyed and subscribe if you're not already. I definitely have more of these like popular it girl brands on my list. I've just been doing a couple at a time, but I would say that today was definitely a successful batch. I have absolutely been loving Liaison and Wiskii lately. There are things about the brands that I would change, but overall, I feel like they're giving us really unique, fun activewear that in a world of boring activewear, I just really appreciate it. Set Active, I'm open to trying again, but I do think that structurally the designs are not quite as flattering or functional as Wiskii or Liaison. Let me know what other brands you guys would like me to try below. Thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye.